So Variety just launched a story. It says Selena Gomez takes a social media break due to horror, hate, violence, terror in the world, and posts won't change things. She says posts won't change things. So I'm not going to dive into all the aspects of this. As a person who's been on social media, since the MySpace days, if you're a young kid watching this podcast or this content, I want you to understand something. You are what you eat. You've heard that phrase before. You are what you consume. I was watching a documentary. You're going to go to the internet for answers, and if you consume, this much of a pie, and basically that starts to feed your thoughts, you're going to be more of what you feed yourself. So I encourage you to look at counter narratives, alternatives to just one thing. You're gonna feel this whole. I think they talk about most mental health. I've done a ton of work within the mental health industry. Used to have very bad depression, anxiety. Most mental health issues come to fruition when you're 16 to 24, and that's because your life changes. You start to sort of feel empty as you grow, and you start to notice your consciousness starts to notice. I have different voids. I'm not good looking enough. I'm not cool enough. I'm not strong enough. I don't have this. You start to feel very small inside. And that's part of life. It's because you have to fill yourself with things that you want your future self to basically, you have to put the seeds in for what you want future things to bloom. So if you're filling yourself with drugs and violence and negative thoughts about yourself and not pushing yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, you're going to start, what blossoms down will be things that you're not happy with. So if you think about your day, what you eat, what you're consuming on social media, you also have to make sure you're getting out there and doing classes and courses. And if you want to be an actor, jumping on stage, pushing through your fears, you have to go to things like PSY seminars and mental health stuff to push yourself. Your mind is just like your physical body, so you need to basically improve yourself. So I'm bringing this up because social media is tough. It's tough for someone my age who's been through therapy, knows I've overcome anxiety and depression. I know how to work myself out of things. But when you're younger, you don't have those skill sets, you don't have those tools, you don't even understand that part of life yet. So you need to don't just get focused on such narrative things and negative things that aren't making your life better. Plant seeds that are going to grow into bigger things. Taking courses, studying books, taking an internship, joining classes and groups, being around people, building that, not just building online. If you want a game, that's great. How do you meet up in person? How do you do different things? Learn about mental health. There's so much that goes on, and it's really hard when you're 16 to 25. Sometimes it's really hard to get yourself to feel good about yourself, and that's totally normal. You guys should totally normal that. But what I encourage you is to not do drastic things to yourself to make you feel better. Do things that are healthy, working out, eating right. Going to college, taking courses online, trying things. Failing. Interacting. It's tough. Life is not perfect or easy. So social can be tough because you're seeing so much negativity sometimes with the Hamas and Israel thing. It's really hard. You're starting to pick sides. You're fighting with people over things that are happening across the world. It's good to educate yourself, but you need breaks. You need to do real world things. You need to work on yourself. So I just say that to say, I understand it's tough out there. I totally get it. Make sure you're taking breaks. I have to, do it myself. I take the boat all the time. I'm barely on the phone. There's lots of things I do working out. But making content, start becoming a producer and creator versus just a consumer. So you have power in life. You have an ability to push forward to break your situation. So I hope that encourages people, gives you some thoughts on social and someone who's been in it, who's had mental health, who's been through it. Remember, you are what you eat. You can change your algorithm. You can put better things in front of you. You can, choose to hit the button on a post and say, I don't want to see more of this. You can go off into other aspects of things. You can create a new social network that's more positive. So go out there and be the change. Don't let social and what's going on in the world bring you down. You fight it back by working on yourself.